Welcome to my YouTube channel. This lecture, I'll be teaching you how to download Python if you don't have Python installed on your system. And if you also have Python installed and it is the old version, you need to update it to at least 3.12 or just download the latest version. So you are going to go to python.org slash downloads slash. So then when you get there, you are going to see a button like download Python. Then you can actually choose your operating system that you are using. For me, I'm using Windows. And if you are using Linux or Unix, Mac OS and other operating system, you can click on them. So I'm going to click on Windows and I'm going to choose my window installer. So I'm using 64-bit. So I'm going to download for 64-bit. So I click on it, it's going to download. Although um I already have Python installed on my system already, so I don't need to download anymore. So after this, you now want to download a text editor. There are many text editor you can download. You can download Sublime Text, Visual Studio Code, PyCharm, and many other IDE. It's popularly known as IDE, but like we call it code editor or a text editor. So the popular text editor is Visual Studio Code, as it is in your manual. Like the the states Visual Studio Code in your manual. So we're going to be downloading Visual Studio Code. Well, you can also use some other IDE like Sublime Text or PyCharm, but I'll be using Visual Studio Code. So I'm going to type Visual Studio Code. Then I'm going to select anyone. So the first one that is the https colon slash slash code dot visual studio code visualstudio.com. Then you want to click on it, and after that you are going to download for Windows, download for iOS. If it's going to automatically bring the operating system you are using for it to download for it. So if you are using Mac, it won't bring download for Windows. It's going to bring download for Mac or download for Linux. So you can actually see other operating system that is available. So and if it did not bring the the operating system you are using automatically, you can download like this. You can download the stable version. Don't download the insider version. Download the stable version. So I already have Visual Studio Code installed. I don't need to download it. So if you don't have it installed, you can just download it. So now let's move to want to check the version that I have on my computer. So first thing we want to do is go to command prompt, which is this, and want to be at the HP or the name of your computer. Maybe you use your name. Make sure you are at the name of your computer. So let's say you are at the desktop. Automatically, if you just open the command prompt, it's going to be at the name of your computer. So if it's not there and maybe it's at the desktop, let's make an example. Let's say it's at the desktop like this, and you want to move back to the HP. Then you can just say cd and two dots, then it is going to move back to HP. So that's all about moving to one directory from one directory to another directory. So we now want to check the version. Then now we're going to type Python slash and dash dash version. Then here I have 3.12.2, and the latest version here is, I think, 3.12.3. 3.12.3 is the latest version, and here I have 3.12.2. So like it's the latest version. So after that, we now want to write our first code in the code editor. So once we've checked the version and we already see that it's the latest and nothing less than version 2 or version 1, let's say it is in version 3, you can still be using it. But if it is in version 2 or 1, you need to update it. You need to install the latest version. So let's now move to our code editor. So I'll be using Visual Studio Code as I said earlier. So first thing you want to do is create a folder. Then here I already have a folder. So for those that don't know how to create a folder, so you need to right click on your mouse and select the new and folder. Then after that, you are going to create a file. Well, after you've created the folder, then you now want to move to Python. You now want to move to the Visual Studio Code, the IDE, and Control N. So automatically you'll be at this welcome page. Be at this welcome page. So you now want to open up the folder that you want to save into. So once I click on Control N, I'm going to save Control S. Then I'll make sure that I'm saving in the right directory. So here I'm at the desktop and at the Python folder that is at the desktop. So if I'm saving at downloads, then it is going to be saving in other places, and this is going to affect, there will be error. It's not going to work. So we want to save in the correct directory. So it's going to be in the Python. That's where we want to have our file. So Python 2.py. Note that when you are saving a Python file, it always ends with Python and .py. So it can be maybe index.py, um, python.py, or any descriptive word that you want to use. So then I save. So after that, here we have two full files. So the one is python.py and the other one is python2.py. We are going to be using the python.py for now. So the first thing we want to do is open up our terminal. Let me close this terminal and open it up again. So when I click on the terminal and I click on new terminal, so don't forget I click on this three dots, I click on terminal and new terminal. So here we are already at the desktop. If I want to move backward, maybe add to the desktop directory, I can just type cd dot dot. Then I'm already at the desktop, but where we want to run our code is at the Python folder. So I need to go back to the Python directory. So that's going to be cd. So we're already at the Python directory. So what we want to now do is we want to write our first code. Let's say we want to print a hello world. So we're going to use the print function. So the print is a function, and the print is a function, and we want to now print hello world. Note that a string is always inside a quote, a single or a double quote. So I'm just going to say hello world. So after that I'm going to save. Ctrl S to save. Then you can run your code by typing python.py, python, which is the name of the program Python, and the name of the file python.py. So I'm going to hit enter, and you see hello world here. So after this, we now want to um create a variable. So we can create a variable by by just creating a variable name. So we can just say um num1, and we want to make it a string, which is going to be um so this is a variable, and now we want to pass in this num1 to num1. Then when we now run the code, then it's going to bring out this is a variable. So python.py. So this is a variable, and sometimes you don't need to be stressing yourself by typing python.py all the time. So all you have to do is click on this drop down, and you're going to click on run python file. So if I click on the run python file, then automatically this is a variable displayed. So let me try to write another thing. So let's make it so, and we now want to print. Then when I made a mistake here, one thing about this IDE is that even before you run the code, it already shows that you've made a mistake. Unlike IDE like PyCharm, like, which doesn't show an error after you run the code. So it's until after you run the code that's when it shows the error. But this IDE, it shows the error before you even run the code. So here we have the star boy, and this is going to be the end of this lecture. So if you have any question, you can just type it in the comments, and I'm going to reply you in a very short time. So the next lecture I'll be taking Python variable. So we're going to be learning about Python variable name, and we are going to be combining it with the string and integer value integer data type. So see you there.